Hi, everybody. We are Simple Gifts. My name is Linda.
I'm Karen.
And thank you for listening to us. We're happy to be here playing music for you in my dining room. So, what we do is we play many different string instruments, and we're real focused on arrangements. We find folk tunes from all over the place, and then we create all of the arrangements. So, Karen has an interesting.
Yes, I do.
You probably think it's a banjo, but
Well, in a way, it is a banjo.
it's half banjo.
I'm going to bring this up to the camera so you can see it closer. This is one of the advantages, actually, of Zoom. If you look carefully at this, there are 6 strings on this banjo, okay? And that actually is a guitar neck on a banjo head, okay? So you play it just like a guitar, but it's going to sound, of course, more like a banjo because of the head. And it's been repaired on this end, and I'm showing you this because from a distance it looks like very nice metal work, but you can see it's been repaired here. And the reason I'm showing you also is this instrument is over 100 years old. They are back in popularity now because they're so much fun for guitar players, and Taylor Swift plays one. So what are we starting with, Linda?
We are starting with a medley of tunes from Cape Breton Island.
Yes, we are.
Way out there east, in the top part of Nova Scotia. I've been there a few times. It's beautiful.
And you've talked
great
about
music.
it a lot. So here we go. Some tunes from Cape Breton Island.
And it's interesting, since Cape Breton was settled by people from Scotland, the music they play is considered Scottish music, and so that was Celtic music from Canada. Imagine that. And now we'll do something that is same instruments but very different style. This is klezmer music. The first one is a waltz, and then the second is a little more.
So this is
a
from
more even
the Jewish
tempo.
heritage. I'm lowering a string. There we go. right. Klezmer music.
Klezmer
And again, much
tunes.
of what we play is something people would be dancing to. It's lots of fun to play this instrument. So if you play guitar, you might want to look up 6-string banjo and get yourself one of these.
Yeah, you play it like it's a guitar and it sounds like a banjo. It's magic. And so
Magic.
Karen is another interesting instrument here.
Yes.
It looks like a regular violin.
Well, that's because it is a regular
It is a regular
violin.
violin.
Yes. And again, I'm going to bring this one up closely. We won't do this with all the instruments, but this in particular is an interesting one. First of all, it has a very dark finish, right? So that's considerably darker than Linda's violin. But what I really wanted to show you is the headstock and the carving on it. I'm going to bring this, see if I can get this right up to the camera. Look at that. That is a carefully carved, normally you'd see what's called a scroll, but somebody has carved a lion's head on this. And it makes this instrument certainly somewhat valuable because of that. It has a little pink tongue that you can see sticking out and little holes where the ears are. So not only is this unusual for that reason, it also has a set of strings on it that puts it a full octave lower than a normal violin. So no different in the instruments, but the strings are called an octave set.
They're really, really thick.
Yes.
So it can be called an octave violin or octave fiddle
Or
baritone violin
or
a chin cello.
Chincello, because it's actually coming in terms of the range that it's in is between a cello and a viola.
But the tone is more like a cello.
Yeah,
than
it is.
viola. So, all right, for example, here's my highest string.
Here's mine. So full octave lower. Whoa, and this one. And that makes
wrong voice down there. Here's my low string.
All right.
Yeah. So we have for you two Swedish tunes, and the first one is called Blizzard Hambo, and the second is Joker's Polska, and both of those are dance forms. So it's like it's not a polka or a waltz; it's a hambo, and or it's a polska for the second one.
So that was some Scandinavian music, and it's a very nice sound. It's a very rich, full sound.
What we totally neglected to say at the beginning,
Right.
before we sat down, we're all busy tuning and stuff, to say that this concert is being sponsored by Monmouth County Library.
Yes.
And
we would encourage you all to support your library system, and we were so glad to be asked by them to do this today, really.
yes, very, very appreciative,
Yes.
so thank you.
Okay, I have another instrument.
You have another instrument. I'm sticking with the fiddle. No difference between a fiddle and a violin. That's the question we're most often asked.
Yes, I think that's true.
And
Oops, I got this one.
there is no
The
difference. It would be
mandolin.
the style of music you play. I'm also often asked what this is attached to my violin. Let me show you this while Karen's setting up. It's weighted, and I have it attached to the violin. I put it around my neck, and then I don't have to hold on. And I have no chin rest. Usually there's a thing here called the chin rest that you put your chin on, but this has just made my neck feel a lot better. So,
All right, I am playing a mandolin, and this again is an instrument that I will bring up for you to see. This has 8 strings on it. You can always tell by the number of tuning pegs, by the way, if you look closely. But look at how they're set up. There are 4 different notes. This is tuned just like my violin, and you are to play the 2 strings that are very close together at the same time. They are so close together, it's very difficult to not do that. So it's just set up, and it gives you a different sound. They're metal strings. Usually on a violin, they're different composite materials, but these are metal. And you are to play both strings at the same time, so you get kind of double the volume on them. And you play it like a guitar. I'm using a little pick, but it's tuned like my violin.
we have for you next a piece that we wrote. So we both wrote the melody and arranged it, and we each wrote some sections of it. We wanted to have something that would sound exotic. So there are 2 things you can do right off the bat to make something sound exotic. First is the scale. So here's our scale.
That's pretty exotic sounding.
It's such a wonderful scale. I like that scale a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And then we looked at the rhythm. Rhythm can make you sound exotic. We put this in 7.
7/8.
So groups of 7 beats, and the way they get grouped is there are different ways to group a 7, but this one is 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. That's
Right.
one measure. That's the 7. So we put this all together, just knowing we wanted exotic, and once it was finished, I played it for somebody who really knows the distinctions of different genres, and she said it sounded Macedonian. Yes. So we have decided that this is our
Macedonian
original
piece.
Macedonian tune.
We call it Midnight Caravans.
caravan.
All right, so mandolin and the violin tuned the same, and we're kind of trying to occupy the same space at the same time. Linda is now going to go over and get the very largest instrument that we travel with when we're traveling. And this is called a hammer dulcimer. And it's a fascinating instrument, and it has quite the history. This is instruments like this style have been around for 3,000 years.
Came from
at
Persia.
least.
So here is the hammer dulcimer. It's like the inside of a piano. It's got all these strings going all the way across, and then I will be hitting it with, you would call them mallets if you didn't know, but they happen to be called hammers and not mallets, but they are mallets. Here they are. Pretty little hammers. They have, one side of the hammer is wood, and the other side is leather, so I can make it a little louder or quieter as I go.
So, double strings, or more even, on that instrument, and double strings on this. And we've had a lot of fun with this sound. We're going to play some polkas, and these are actually Irish polkas. I think a lot of people are surprised that the Irish have polkas, but yes, they do. As do the Mexicans and the Scandinavians. So we will get up to polka speed on this. fun to play. They really are. So that's the mandolin and the hammer dulcimer.
So I think we either maybe need to skip the French Canadian, or we'll go right up to. We're always doing this. We were given an amount of time to do, and we use it all up. So
we're going to go to the banjo, the real banjo. Linda is going to get the real banjo, and I'm going to get my nice old Gibson guitar that I just love to play. And we're going to play a tune for you. Normally you might hear a fiddle on this one with a banjo, but we decided to do it with guitar.
We did our own thing with this one.
Yeah.
We do it. It's a well-known traditional American tune that we do really differently than most people who would play this. So a lot of people don't know that the banjo comes from Africa. And it's used a lot we think of it as American because it's used so much in bluegrass music. But the style that I play is not bluegrass. It's called either old time or frailing or clawhammer. And I play with the back. All you see is a hand going back and forth. But I'm playing with the back of my finger now and also using my thumb. And so it's got a very distinctive kind of rhythm to it.
It looks like you're pecking at the instrument a little bit.
The rhythm you hear a lot on this, it's called bum diddy, bum diddy, bum diddy, bum diddy, bum diddy. I'm going to adjust down just a little bit so you can see the whole banjo.
So this is supposed to sound like chickens on a cold, wet, rainy day.
Karen will help you to imagine chickens. Oh, my favorite thing that she does in this is a bend. It's one of my favorite things that Karen plays. So listen for when she does it. What she's doing is you push the string so that you're stretching it, so the pitch goes
changes
up.
the note. So here we go, off to the front porch to sit in our rocking chair and watch those chickens. Chickens.
Oh, Karen had to add that when we do a lot of programs for kids, and we played that for kids, and then asked them afterwards, well, did it sound like chickens? Kids are so literal, and of course it did not sound like chickens. So Karen had to make the chicken sounds.
Well, I still think some of them might have thought we meant chicken McNuggets. So.
All right. So we have a Bulgarian
Yes,
tune.
we do. So we're going to play double fills here, and this tune is from Bulgaria, and we had talked about that 7/8 rhythm earlier in the one of the previous tunes we played with the octave violin, and we're going to be using a 7/8 rhythm in this as well. And again, much of what we play is dance oriented. We make entirely our own arrangements and choose the instruments that we're going to play the tunes on. But this would be that 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. Though it moves a little fast.
Karen can actually talk and play at the same time. So as we get into it, she'll count it for you a little bit.
And this is called Minka. Some Bulgarian dance music.
Bulgarian.
Yes, a lot of fun to play that.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you so much for
We've enjoyed this very much.
listening. Again, the name of our group is Simple Gifts. Our website is Simple Gifts Music. Don't forget to put music on. simplegiftsmusic.com. We've been, right from this very dining room, we've been doing quite a few things online. So if you check our schedule, you can see when we're playing concerts, and we do workshops also, and we both give lessons online on everything you've seen us play. And we want to thank the library again.
Very much.
Monmouth County
Absolutely.
Library for choosing us to be in your series.
And support your library in any way that you can.
They've got a lot of things planned.
They sure
The library's got a lot of stuff going on. So check out, lots of online stuff.
And maybe if
I'm
there's
not
a
sure
next
about that
time
in
for us,
person.
we will get to meet some of you in person.
That would be nice. That would
which
be
we would
nice
really
to meet
like.
people in person next time. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.